Talk back off.
Hello everyone on YouTube, it's Jordan here again, bringing you another video. And in this video, we're going to be looking at the Neurosmith music blocks. Specifically, a virtual emulator. Since I am unable to get hold of the real thing. However, the concept is very much the same thing. So, before we get into the nitty-gritty of everything, what is the Neurosmith music blocks? Well, when it was released in 1998, it was advertised as a contraption. Generally, when you bought it back in 1998 to 2005, I believe, because they were still selling them brand new in 2004, because I remember when I was a primary school student, we got ours brand new in 2004. Generally, when you bought it, you'd get 5 coloured blocks, the contraption in which the blocks rest on, and a Mozart cartridge. This cartridge contained Mozart's night music, most famously known as Ein Kleine Nacht. So that's the only thing you got with the Neurosmith music blocks. Cartridges could be bought separately, as far as I remember. And what you would do is you would put the blocks in the contraption, and each block would play a different sound. So I'll demonstrate this for you on the emulator.
Blue circle.
So let's say you had all the circles. So each block has a shape and a color. The shapes are the faces of the blocks. So here's how they sound. So again, if all 5 blocks are in the contraption, and you press the big button at the top, I believe it was at the top, it's been a while since I messed with it, the real thing anyhow, each block, all 5 of them would play their respective sounds, assuming that they were in position properly. So if you had all circles matched up, then they would play songs, they would play the same measure of the music in that with those instruments. Each shape and color represents each shape represents a different instrument category, while each color contains other parts of the song. So here we've got all the circles lined up together, but you can also play each individual block. Just like on the real thing. Now, to do this on the simulator, you press space, and to demonstrate the blocks, playing them all together, you would press the you press the enter key, which is the equivalent of pressing the big button on the contraption. But that's not all it did, because if you turn a block over here, I'm going to turn this. I'm going to turn this blue block over to the square face and press it again. And I'm going to do the same
Green circle.
With the green block.
Square.
And now we've got this. And you can do the same with the other 3 blocks. So let's hear what it sounds like now. Now again, the other 3 blocks were unchanged from the previous time I've demonstrated it all. The other 3 are unchanged. So basically what I've done is I've only turned over 2 blocks. So pressing the arrow keys is equivalent to turning the block over on another face. And pressing the spacebar is the equivalent of pressing the block separately. Now, you can do all sorts of combinations. You don't have to have them matched together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a combo right now.
Yellow.
I'm going to do a,
Square.
I'm going to do,
Triangle. Rectangle.
I'm going to do a blue rectangle.
Green. Triangle. Rectangle. Star. Hexagon.
I'm going to do the blue,
Blue. Green.
the green hexagon.
Yellow. Circle.
I want to turn that yellow block over onto I'm going to turn it onto a square, and I'm going to put the
Orange. Circle.
I'm going to put the
Square.
I'm going to put an orange square in. I'm going to turn the orange to the square face,
Red. Circle.
and I'm going to put
Square.
the
Triangle. Rectangle. Star.
red on the star. Now you're going to hear a completely different. Now you're going to hear the same tune again, but completely different instruments, because all the blocks have been turned into a different position. No, on different faces. Now, that's really cool. That's pretty much the concept. Now, this works regardless of what cartridge you're using. Now, you could buy separate cartridges with this thing. You could buy Latin Salsa. You could buy Irish Jigs, Sounds of the Orchestra. There was what else was there? Jumpin' Jive Jazz, Rhythms of the World, African Rhythms. There was a good number of cartridges that you'd buy with the music blocks when it first came out. Now, if I was to get the original one, I'm hoping I can get the real thing, because then I can show you properly then. But this is as good as you're going to get. But not only could you move the blocks in different stages to change the instrument sounds. Now, on this simulator, you can turn on the mechanics so you know what it sounds like. I'm not going to turn it on for this video. You can imagine, you can probably imagine it, but you can imagine how it's going to, feel. But it's essentially the same. I'm not going to turn on the mechanics for this one. Maybe some other time. So, as I was saying, you can change the order of the blocks too. So here I'm going to let me show you. So I've got this
Orange. Blue. Rectangle.
let's take this
Green. Yellow. Square.
let's take this yellow square, for instance. If I press it, it's going to play like this.
Hexagon.
It's going to play straight after that
Blue. Green.
that green hexagon. But what if I swap the green hexagon with the yellow square? And that's what I'm going to do. All you got to do for this particular simulator, you just got to hold shift and then move the block in a different face. On the real thing, you would have to hold on to the blocks. So all you need to do is swap the positions with them. Now, on the real thing, make sure the blocks are firmly put in. You'd know they would be firmly put in if you can feel them in there. So I'm going to do what I did now. So I'm holding on to the
green block.
I'm holding the green block with shift, and I'm going to move it
Yellow block to the left.
to the
Orange block to the right.
to the yellow block, and I'm going to release it.
Drop green block in position 3.
And now listen to what we've done. But let's go even crazier with that. Everything else is still in order. We've only just changed the positions of those other blocks. So let's...
Orange, red, star.
I want to put the red star in the position where the orange block is. I want to put the red block in the same position as the orange one.
Hold green block to the left. Orange block to the right.
And now...
drop red block in position 4.
Here we have this. I want to change this again.
Orange. Square.
Okay, so where's
Red.
that?
Star. Green. Hexagon.
There we go. I want to move the...
Yellow. Square. Green. Red. Star.
I want to put that in position 3. And this is how my primary school teacher had it. So I'm going to create the crazy teacher combo.
Holding red block. Yellow block to the left. Green block to the right. Drop red block in position 3.
So now the red block is in position 3. Let's play it again to make sure that our set is correct. Yep, I'm sorry Mozart, but we completely scrambled your piece of music. Let's do now I'm going to do a random set.
Yep, blue. Star.
So I'm going
Hexagon.
to make sure that
Triangle. Rectangle. Star. Triangle. Red. Star. Green. Orange. Square. Triangle. Rectangle. Star. Yep, rectangle. Star.
now you're going to notice that there is an interesting glitch with the stars, which you're going to hear in a bit. Now you know how each block is set to play a specific tune. Well, there's an interesting glitch with the stars, particularly the orange one. Here, I'll show you. Did you hear that? That orange star is on the end.
Orange. Star. Hexagon.
But let's turn it into another one. It's supposed to be playing. But instead,
Star.
we get this totally different tune. Which I think is pretty cool. It shocked me when I first saw it back in primary school. Pretty amazing. And yes, this also applies to the newer version of the Neurosmith music blocks as well. This is not specific to the old version. And if you're done messing with all the blocks, then you can reset them by pressing a backspace.
All blocks reset.
Now, I don't know how you do this on the real thing, but I think you turn the thing off and it would... I don't know how it works on the real thing. So, now that I've showed you the Mozart music cartridge, I'm going to show you one more cartridge before I end this. If you want, we'll have another play with the Mozart one later. So I'm going to show you the Irish Jigs one. So on this particular simulator, you press C to take the cartridge out. And I need to press I if this is going to let me.
Latin salsa.
For some reason, this doesn't want to cooperate with me today.
Rhythms of the world. Nutcracker. Sounds of the orchestra. World music.
I'm going to find the Irish cartridge.
Mozart's music. Classical collection. African rhythms. Maestro classical. 120. Irish jigs.
There it is, Irish Jigs.
Irish jigs inserted.
So this is one of the cartridges you could buy. This is the Irish Jigs cartridge. Now this particular one has many different... This is like a collection of reels, so let's turn
all squares.
I'm going to put all the squares in one column. So that's all the squares.
All triangles.
All triangles. Now these will be different, I think. Yeah, you can get how that works. It's pretty cool how it works. Pretty unique, if you ask me. That pardon me, that was just me Mac. My Mac just wanted to say hello. So I'm going to put the Mozart cartridge back in.
Select the ROM cartridge.
For some reason, first letter navigation isn't working
Latin
for me
salsa,
today.
Rhythms of the world, Nutcracker, sounds of the orchestra, world music, Walt Disney, Mozart's night music. Mozart's night music inserted.
And yeah. And I'm gonna call it a day. I'm gonna put my blocks the way they were before I reset them. So again, this is
Orange.
when I first played with the real thing back when I was a primary school student. My teacher had put them in a position that I like to have my blocks in by default. So
Yeah, blue.
I'm gonna keep this in this position. Oh no, that's the. Let's reset them all.
All blocks reset.
I like to have the blue block on the circle face. I'm gonna put my green block
Circle, hexagon, star.
on here.
Yellow.
This block isn't going anywhere. This yellow block is staying right where it is.
Orange. Circle.
The orange and the red blocks are going to be moved to the star faces.
Hexagon, star.
This is the glitchy one. And
Red. Circle. Hexagon. Star.
this is the star face. And yeah, let me tell you a story. When I first played with this thing, the real thing, my teacher never told me he could remove the blocks. I only found out in 2019 that these blocks could be moved. Because I thought that they were set. I was wondering, how would you change the faces around? I didn't even know you could remove them because they do feel like they're fixed in place. But you can actually remove the blocks and change them around. So here's what the crazy combo sounded like. Now I did use the now I could use that other example we did where we took the blocks out of order, but I'm going to do them in the order that the actual song was designed to be in. So here we go. And there you have it. That's the crazy teacher combo. That's what I like to refer it to, because it was crazy when back then, but now when I look back on it, the teacher completely messed the order up of the song, or maybe it was how it was. Maybe it was how it was set up when I first saw it. So before I go, I'd like to thank the developer of the simulator, who I follow on Keybase, for creating this thing, because now we can experience this amazing. We can experience the probably one of the best toys I've ever had the pleasure of messing with all over again without having to buy the real thing, because I'm finding it hard to try and track down the original one. Now I am seeing the new one pop up a lot. And generally, I've had a look, and it seems that not a lot of people like the new one because of its sound quality. Now, if you want to see that in action, then yeah, there are a few videos of the new one, and while it sounds alright on paper, generally it just sounds terrible. The new one, and the new one actually has some sets of blocks that didn't sets of songs that didn't come on the original. We had Beethoven's Ode to Joy, and we also had a piece from J.S. Bach, which weren't on the original cartridge set when you first got them. So I'd like to thank one of my Keybase followers for inventing this. Because I absolutely love messing with this. The combinations you can do are almost endless. Even on the real thing, it's amazing what you can do. Now, I do hope to get hold of the real thing at some point so I can review it and show you exactly how it works in practice so that you can see visually what the blocks look like and how the blocks and how the stand is structured. Now, if you do have the original one or haven't seen the original one for a while, I do believe that the original music blocks runs on the C cell batteries. You know, they're above the AAs, not AAs, but they're C size, about the size of. Well, no, they're not the size of a cup. They're the middle sized. Not the. Not the. They're the ones before D size. They're much smaller than D size batteries. Anyway. I hope I just didn't knock anything out. Off, because I've turned talkback off. Let me turn it back on.
Talk back on. Lens wide switch. 0 up. 0. Switch to front. Stop recording. Button. Double tap to activate.
This is Jordan signing off saying have a good day everyone.